You're watching the AM News first. The Chief Executive Officer of Georg Distilleries Company Limited, Jonas Bote Aple, has revealed that the company has been paying close to 90 workers at its Kumasi branch for the past 10 months, despite zero production activity. According to him, the Kumasi plant, which was established to produce water, has been out of operation for nearly a year, leaving workers idle, but still on the company's payroll. He therefore said steps are being considered to revamp the facility and restore production to help cut operational losses and sustain jobs. He also made these remarks when the members of the Parliament Select Committee on Employment, Labour Relations and Pensions visited the company as part of their oversight responsibilities. Fatah Bayaga has more in the following report.
The committee embarked on a monitoring tour of selected companies to strengthen collaboration and ensure compliance in their operations. At GIHOC, the Chief Executive Officer, Jones Bote Aple, disclosed that the company has been paying about 90 workers at its Kumasi branch for the past 10 months, despite halting production.
I have a whole unit in Kumasi that is supposed to be producing water. They are close to about 90 there. I've been paying them for the past 10 months. They are not producing. Because the machines there, when I went to the factory and saw the conditions, I felt they needed to be relooked at.
He also expressed concern about the growing influx of imported alcoholic beverages, describing it as a major challenge affecting the company's operations.
Over the years, because we have not been there, people have taken over our market share. And so when we run, people are not demanding our products the way. And for now, today, a lot of competition. Only beverages from India, from anywhere, after 8 or so. I don't drink 8 p.m. They call it 8 p.m. When I drink it, I get a headache. And so, a lot of competition. Now, it's not coming from the Europe, but everywhere.
Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Employment, Labour Relations and Pensions, Joseph Apia Borton, said the committee will engage the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to address the issue of foreign alcoholic imports in order to safeguard the local industry.
I think what the committee, after this, we are going to sit down for progress reports and review where the companies that we visited and see how best we can also do. If we have to talk to trade minister or wherever that is necessary, then we liaise with them so that Google will bounce back and be on its feet.
He further noted that the Chief Executive Officer of the company assured the committee that measures are being implemented to resolve the company's operational challenges and restore production.
What he is trying to do is that he wants to keep his staff because he knows that very soon all those machines will be operationalized. So he doesn't have to sack anyone before he brings them back. So he doesn't want to render redundancy. So what he's trying to do is to hold them together. So when the machines, because some of the machines will be ready even today, so that they will start full production.
The committee's monitoring tour also took members to Promasido and Casapreco Ghana Limited, where the chairman expressed satisfaction with their operations.
I think they are on track when it comes to how they deal with their workers or their employees. I think they are on track. Nothing is perfect, but I think they've done well.
What we have seen at Promasido and Casapreco, it gives me hope that with the private sector, we'll be able to employ a lot of the youth.
For Joy News, Fatah Bayaga, Accra.
And at age 65, Agnes Nsa of Tarkwa still wakes up every morning haunted by one painful memory of losing her daughter to breast cancer. Now, she's determined not to let another woman in her community go through that same heartbreak. This week, the Rotary Club of Tarkwa and the Goldfields Ghana Foundation teamed up to offer hundreds of women free breast screening and medical checks, a chance to save lives through early detection. And our correspondent, Natalia Kwanza, was in Tarkwa and also met Agnes.
She's 65, but the pain in her voice makes her sound much older. Agnes Ansan has lived through the horror of watching breast cancer, claimed the life of her own daughter.
Oh, I won't hear today. Thank you. Looking for we come back. Our day bomb, but then what the other we come have free there. Although be a didn't wish him no it. We found a boy and I'm a Mr. Pia. Dana, oh, we call hospital. Na wobetwa na enu kokko na yenyim de na anyi efidi odidi no modemu na ti apre na wa ye no wewu ti breast cancer the ministry pa.
Agnes is one of hundreds of women who turn up at the new Atuabo Community Park in Tarkwa for free breast cancer screening, a partnership between the Rotary Club of Tarkwa and Goldfields Ghana Foundation. Globally, more than 2.3 million women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year, leading to over 670,000 deaths.
So breast cancer currently is like the commonest cancer in our part of the world. And we are losing quite a number of our women to breast cancer. And we know that when we are able to pick it up in time, that we are able to treat and get the majority of them surviving this illness. So that is how come every October we set aside a month to create the awareness, educate our women about breast cancer and our gentlemen too as well, and then also undertake some screening for them. So at Goldfields Ghana, we have decided not to even just limit ourselves to the breast cancer, but we are doing the general health screening for our community, our valued members of the community in which we operate. So we are looking at the holistic health of our people to make sure that in whatever area we operate, that we are impacting positively on the lives of the people in the community. Tarkwa, yes, it's a municipality, and because of mining, we actually have quite a number of people, and the kind of cases we see it's a whole range. And yes, we've picked out some breast cancer cases. In the facility in which I work, we've actually had to refer someone for a double mastectomy, that's the removal of the breast, and then she successfully underwent treatment, and she's still alive and doing very well.
For many of these women, today's exercise is the first time they have ever had their breast examined by a professional. District Governor of Rotary 9104, Nanaya Cerebral, believes awareness should go beyond the pink month of October.
Beyond October, a woman has the right to go to any health center and have a mammogram done. October has been the month that's selected to create the awareness, but throughout the year, every woman has a right to go to a health post and ask for a mammogram to be done.
In Athalia Kwanzaa, Joy News, Tarkwa.
And still on breast cancer, a free breast cancer screening in Techiman has uncovered a silent health crisis, leading to a powerful and direct plea from doctors. Your first stop after diagnosis must be the hospital, not the prayer camp. This comes as the Holy Family Hospital reveals a worrying 70% of patients are arriving too late for treatment, with new cases soaring to 54 in just the first half of this year. Now, Sabit has more.
Right here at the Techiman RC Basic School, a collaborative effort between the Holy Family Hospital and the Cancer Support Network Foundation saw more than 120 people step up for a free health checkup. A powerful show of community engagement, but the initial results are a stark warning bell. Of those screened, abnormalities were found in some 44 individuals. That's more than 1 in 3. 2 cases were serious enough to require immediate biopsies. This number underscores a critical gap between community need and routine medical care. Board Secretary of the Cancer Support Network Foundation, Gabriel Asumin, underscores the need for the public to take breast cancer screenings seriously.
Through my personal involvement with Cancer Support Network, we find that there are some women who are walking through our markets with very bad cases of breast cancer, travel to the liver, to the bones in the back, to the brain, and that makes the treatment much more difficult. So we are hoping that through various organizations doing consistent education, we can detect breast cancer early so that we can get people the treatment they need so that they can go about their lives.
He further shared a passionate plea. If a lump is found, your next step must be a hospital, not just a prayer camp. Faith, according to him, is vital, but it must be complemented by science.
As a pastor and as a doctor, I pray for my patients. So we won't discount the importance of your faith in your healing process, but the most interesting thing that every patient, every person in Ghana will have to ask themselves is, of all the thousands of doctors that are in Ghana, when any one of them gets sick, will they go to the hospital or will they go to a prayer camp? When the pastors, myself included, get sick, do we go to the hospital or do we stay at home and pray? And if we go to the hospital when we are sick, then the church members need to pay attention.
This urgent call for medical follow-up is echoed loudly by the doctors here who are on the front lines. They see the devastating consequences of late reporting every single day. Dr. Kingsley Bosompem is a general surgeon here at the Holy Family Hospital.
Especially in the resource-limited communities, we record about 70 to 80%. In other words, 7 to about 8 out of 10 patients will come with what we call locally advanced or metastatic. Now, early breast cancer is curable. Locally advanced is quite difficult to treat, and then when it's in metastatic, it's no longer treatable. So the main challenge here is that they come in very late, 7 out of 10, which is not a very good sign.
54 new cases in just 6 months, a stark number that highlights the critical need for prevention. This is why the message from experts is so consistent and clear.
We started our clinic, breast care clinic, not too long ago, and the cases are rising. For the first half of the year, 2025, we have been able to, we've diagnosed 54 cases of breast cancer. Compared with last year, we are recording high numbers of cases. So we need to put the data together and can make it.
So the message from Techiman is one of urgency wrapped in hope. While the numbers are rising, the power to change the outcome lies in early detection. The success of this screening proves that when services are brought to the community, people will participate. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
And Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has donated 20 computers to selected schools in the Futu municipalities to strengthen ICT education at the basic level. Representing her Central Regional Minister Ekopenyi Rotary said the initiative aims to bridge the digital gap and equip students with the tools needed for technology-driven future, with supporting the development of community day schools nationwide.
Some selected schools in Winneba were beneficiaries of government's vision to build computer labs in basic schools, receiving 20 desktop computers donated by Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Making the presentation on behalf of the Vice President, the Central Regional Minister, Ekopenyi Rotary, explains that government's plans to pursue Community Day Schools initiative must be founded on strong grounds, beginning with equipping basic schools.
His Excellency President John Mahama embark on the Community Day Secondary School, very necessary, and we have seen the need now that idea hasn't been abandoned. Because if you look at the way the placement activity went, it tells us as people of Ghana that we still have to think around to ensure that we do have community day schools that will be well equipped and to have the right teachers for teaching and learning activities. That has to be done and done well. It must start from the basic schools.
As part of his activities for the day, the Central Regional Minister also visited Ghana's biggest manufacturer of red bricks, 5 Continents Bricks Company Limited, where he emphasized how Ghana can help the company's operations.
One of the concerns they've expressed, as I've said earlier, is to ensure that they have market for it, because no producer will will give production without having the market for it. And the best way to sustain them, because if we do, then we are going to get employment, we're going to stabilize our economy, we're going to have cheaper buildings for our schools and for our communities, then we should have market for them. So government will look at it. That's why I said that why not? We'll let Get Fund consider. They may have to, if they have to take it to the laboratory to see, compare it with the blocks that we use, and see which one will be cheaper and also durable. Why not? We do have building structures in this country that have gone beyond 120 years, which were made out of bricks. So I mean, we cannot contest that they are not going to support our ideas. Certainly, there's something we can take from here, and that government will ensure that that happens.
The board chairman of the company, Alhaji Abbas Issa, highlighted the company's plans for its corporate social responsibility.
We are here to work. Our Chinese partners are here to stay for long. So what is it is, we have a promise that because we are located in the central region, we promise to build 10 computer laboratory
for basic schools.
10 for basic schools in the central region. And it's not going to end here. From here, we'll extend it to Western region, because we might extend the company to Western region, or maybe customers may come from Western region to buy from us. So we are prepared to do all this, and we're going to do this in a short time.
From Winneba, Abigail Lisol Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
And after the COVID-19 pandemic exposed Africa's over-reliance on imported medical supplies, the economic community is taking bold steps to make the country self-reliant. At the Medical Innovation Expo 2025, innovators and researchers unveiled devices designed and built in Ghana, proving that the continent can create solutions for its own healthcare needs. My colleague Rotary Bensa has more in the following report.
Held under the theme New Paradigms in Healthcare Technology, a three-day event brought together scientists, innovators, policymakers, and across the medical
come for us to make medical equipment and devices locally. I'm sure you guys experienced the pandemic. During that time, nobody could import anything. So in times of national crisis, nations tend to be inward and nothing gets sold to anybody else. And so what we are trying to do is to figure out how to develop devices that are relevant to our environment, that is low cost. So we think if we don't take our destiny into our own hands in times of crisis, it will be very difficult. And we may also be buying equipment that are not particularly suitable for our environment.
Students from across the country are also making their mark. Students from various universities showcase medical devices they designed to solve real-time challenges in Ghana's healthcare system.
So this is the dual-powered intra-operative autologous blood transfusion device surgery. So during surgery, when we see that a patient is losing blood, we just collect the blood, we filter it, wait for some few minutes. Then after that, it is being retransfused into the patient.
It's a prototype of a syringe infusion pump. So a syringe infusion pump is used for when you have to administer small doses of medications over a long period of time or continuously.
In rural areas, we have that when they're performing surgeries, even if they have a surgical lump, the light goes off. So we want to build something low cost that can solve that problem. And the doctors don't have to suffer from the lights being off. All the materials and everything were acquired from Ghana. Nothing was imported.
Organizers say the expo is more than a showcase of innovation. As the country advances towards a self-reliant healthcare system, events like this could signal a new era, one where local ingenuity shapes.
Some selected schools in Winneba were beneficiaries of government.
Time now for business update, but first into the stories, we have update on currency news. Now, the World Bank has issued an alert indicating that Ghana and other sub-Saharan African countries might face significant refinancing pressures as previously issued Eurobonds near maturity. There's more in this report.
According to the World Bank, this poses significant challenges to debt sustainability. In its October 2025 Africa Pulse report, it said Ghana faces a bond redemption of $500 million in 2025, spiking to 1.2% of GDP in 2026. South Africa has the largest bond redemptions between 2025 and 2027, measuring 3% of GDP over the period. Senegal also faces bond redemption totaling $1.1 billion between 2025 and 2028, with approximately one-third maturing in 2026. The report also said funding costs remain elevated and policy uncertainty in the U.S. weighs heavily on the benchmark rates for many countries. Again, elevated global risks and tighter financial conditions have raised borrowing costs and reinforced market fragmentation.
2025 West African Oil and Gas Outlook by Deloitte has revealed that the sub-region's oil and gas market is demonstrating strong growth potential driven by global energy demand and rich reserves in the region. The report coming up has more.
According to the 2025 West Africa Oil and Gas Outlook report by Deloitte, the sub-region's oil and gas market recorded a compound annual growth rate of 6.5% from 2025 to 2033. This is worth approximately $80 million. Nigeria accounts for 60%, while Ghana accounts for approximately 20% of the value. The report explained that the oil and gas sector in the sub-region is facing a decisive inflection point. The report stated that from Nigeria's hydrocarbon-rich delta to Angola's offshore blocks to the enormous gas reserves in the East African Rift Valley, the continent is recalibrating its approach to energy equity, security, and sustainability. In terms of crude oil production in Africa, Nigeria remains the top producer, producing around 1.5 million barrels per day at the end of 2024, with Angola closely behind at 1.1 million barrels per day.
This is how we wrap up the news today, but first we have commodity markets for you, and right after that will be sports.